this is week 5, and it's kind of crazy to me because next week I'm technically halfway, which is weird. So week 5, honestly, is my favorite week throughout the entire challenge. Well, that and like week 13, because that's when you get to celebrate all the successes. But week 5 is a super fun week to go through. The biggest things from this week with traveling. Traveling was hard. I was very thankful that I went prepped, that I had my smoothies made, and then I just tried to make sure I had enough veggies and nutrients throughout the day as best I could, as well as with water. Water got a little difficult once you went through one 1 liter bottle and another 1 liter bottle, and now you're out and you have to buy more. So just little things that occur with traveling that make it a little more difficult, but it is 100% doable. And I just want you to know that. If you're considering it or if you've been through it, you already know it is completely doable. You just have to prepare for it. So this week, I didn't learn anything crazy about myself. One thing I did learn is I missed my green smoothie one day this week, and I noticed it. I really noticed it. Those are extremely vital and very important to our health, and that is something that I am relearning. Another thing that I can think of this week is I did eat out quite a bit. So with that, there were definitely some slips, and I could notice those pretty quickly as well. I tried to make sure I researched restaurants and I knew the menu before I went, so I knew what I could eat and what I couldn't eat, but no matter what, sometimes you still find something that you shouldn't have. And yeah, that just happens. The other thing that I wanted to talk about this week that I hadn't really thought of until, well, now, while I'm filming this video, and I thought about it a little bit during this week, but that is the importance of not knowing what is to come week by week. It makes a huge difference, especially like when you already know, when I know this program by the back of my hand, considering I teach it every single week, and I have questions and I answer things about it every single day. I know it really well, and it makes it extremely difficult to do it again, because I know what's coming, I know how to prepare myself, and that makes it hard. So I'm actually really happy that during the challenge we don't tell you what happens week by week before you do it, and that is a big thing. For some people that's like, oh my gosh, I can't do it because I don't know, but I'm here to tell you right now, it is way better not to know what's happening week by week before you start than it is to know, because it makes it so difficult. Other than that, I don't have anything crazy for my check-in. I definitely know that in the next few weeks I'm gonna have to really start working on my breathing again and making sure that is going well, because it's going to get a little stressful. Do you want to say hi? Okay, say hi. This is my little cutie. This is Paris. Sometimes she just has to make an appearance. All right, I gotta keep going. So in the next few weeks, really in the next month, I'm gonna have to really start working on my breathing again, because it is going to get stressful. And stress signals your body to do things you don't want it to. Stress will signal the body to increase cortisol, which also tells your body to hold weight. So if you're ever trying to like release weight or get rid of weight, you don't want your body to think you're stressed or you're anxious or all of those kind of emotions that make you tense. Those signal your body that like a famine is coming or food is scarce and you need to keep all the winter weight on. So that is what you don't want. So for me in the next month, that's something I'm gonna have to really watch, because I am moving, which no matter how exciting that can be, it can also be stressful. So watching how I'm feeling will be a big thing for me in the next little bit. So for my little bonus this week, for those of you who are continuing to follow along, the one thing I often bring up to my clients in week 5 as something else to consider removing or not eating is peanuts and cashews. These ones you might say, why? Those are really healthy. They're in almost every protein bar you can think of, as good nutrients, like they're everywhere on the shelves, both of them. So the first one, And I encourage you to do your own research on this. This is just from my research. Peanuts are not actually a nut. Peanuts are a bean, they're a legume. They are grown underground, and they are grown in an environment that is very dark and moist, which makes them very susceptible to high quantities of mold. So mold toxicity, if you research that into what it does to our body, it is terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. So it is just one of those things that I personally choose not to eat to make sure I'm eliminating all the toxins going into my body. The other one that I discuss is cashews. And the cashew industry is actually kind of terrifying. So cashews are from the same plant that's associated with poison ivy. And they're actually like the shell is very toxic to us, which is why cashews come deshelled. So the workers, though, who deshell the nuts and who work really hard to do that, I have a video, I will post the link with this, but their hands are black. They have literally turned black from the toxins and from the poison that is on the shells, and they're deshelling them, and then the cashews are being processed just so that consumers like us can eat them. And so for one, if something is telling us is that toxic, we shouldn't eat it, I'm kind of like, nope, I don't want to. But for two, for those workers who were buying them, it makes the quantity that they need increased, so they have to work harder and harder to deshell more and more and more, which means they're just getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And so it's an industry that I personally don't love to support. Yeah. So that is something that I often will talk about deeper with my clients during this week. But I thought I would also share it with you guys. As for the next coming week, week 6, I have been looking forward to this week since I started. And I can't wait to get through it and get into it and share with you next week what went on, what were the challenges, because this week can be, the week coming, week 6, can be the most challenging for a lot of people. But for me, I'm craving it and I am totally ready for it. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Sunday.